She appears to be a reasonable person anyway, given given the proper explanation. She'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary.
Oh.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disappeared averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I haven't prepared myself to dial the number of our Luxembourg office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I would be very frustrated if some reason something has already been decided without my or knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCulloch returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. I feel sorry for having her go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance with her wrist watch before tossing me a set of her keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Okay. The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a still to keep me company, whether welcoming or nor comforting. Neither okay. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory wasn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? Or temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. If I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose left me have just handed me. The keys that Rose have just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edge creating solid ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the door to get what Rose asked of me. A few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Oh, shit. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I could feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of healthy wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of very varying color, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers have adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Roses calls their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wandered to me, and they are almost old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing those stairs. Oh, Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the lighted dressed pair as she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Okay.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine? Or the television? I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guesses have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as others. And in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumption, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I think they are brother and sister, if I wasn't for their public display of affection. Why would they be okay? The matching rings on their finger just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And with so many papers, and with papers in the hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. Of course, they're going to ask. Of course they're going to ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answered them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even for the population, and even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I stop talking, her attention is already somewhere elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
But the rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain of the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull this off, or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forums they signed earlier. His certainly attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. What's so interesting about the basement? What's so interesting about the basement? About a basement? I don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he gives me an impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. Or on a grown man. It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Oh, he's gonna have a field day.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room.
Oh, he's gonna have a field day, I can already tell.
It's a good place to keep your private collection in, if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
Isn't this big enough? And isn't this big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest of it only a little. Ooh, bless me. Sorry about that. I smiled to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we were able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had surveyed the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? Maybe. What the fuck? We reach the parlor, however. An odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin. A feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes are gone. Dark silhouettes that are gone. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settled down my spine, making me feel sick, and I started to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat in a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while. The same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Oh. It's all...
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
You have no idea.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Yep.
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
I mean, she had it right.
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
As soon as y'all pay? As soon as y'all buy the house, probably? My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looked at me unexpectedly as I struggled to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion.
Yeah.
A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted particular sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Well, considering, yeah, it might not be a problem for you since, well, you're rich. I mean, look, man, I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say that. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, some rich people are nice, but it just depends on the personality.
And just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Look, man, the cats aren't going to be the problem, right? As long as you clean up their litter boxes, right?
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Yeah, I mean, look, the cats aren't going to be the problem. I mean, it just depends on... Perhaps I'm not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? That's what I'm saying! What's wrong with the cats staying here? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, I like dogs too, so it's hard to... I mean, look, it's kind of hard to tell which ones I like the most because I like them both equally.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
Oh!
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us.
Oh.
Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Okay, I guess.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh.
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I tried at the wince with her nails digging. I tried at the wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Oh God. I know that has to hurt. I can't help but send an imploring look at Mrs. McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful.
I'm not a real estate agent. I don't really look, man. I don't know if that's allowed or not.
And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella, but okay.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
A confusion of letter... Ah, fuck! A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face, turning to her husband, and he merely shrugs in reply. What the fuck? Oh, come on, man.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
What the hell?
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month.
I mean, look.
You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I'm gonna drink some water after it. I need some water for this shit.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom.
You never know.
Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
Oh man. It has to...
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
They don't. It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I wanted to ask what did I did wrong. I want to ask what did I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't...
Oh,
Ah,
you don't
shit.
have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Crap, how do I... Can I rewind? Can I rewind this?
See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Okay, good. I mean, I don't... A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression.
Wait, what's on the letter? That's what I want to know.
Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't want to hear the rest of what she has to say after that. I don't want to hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breath my breathing grows labored. Damn, I cannot speak. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us at the parlor. I want nothing more to say that no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and those blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? Show the letter to Rose. Don't show the letter to Rose. Should I even tell them? Ah, fuck. I mean, do we really have a choice? I'm very curious to know how she's going to react, though. You know what? Just for curiosity, let's show her the letter. I blurted it out before I can think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Bruh.
Why the hell? Okay. Bro, like, why would you say that? Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are engaged in the conversation with their peers, but those curious enough turn their heads in our group's direction and have given them a trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could have just handed her the letter.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off of my hand. Without taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
I mean, at least she's a caring friend. I thought she would read the letter, but...
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Uh-oh. Before Rose can open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both of our shoulders, pulling the both of us at a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
Isabella, but okay. He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze, while an inscrutable smile spreads across his face.
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Isabella, but okay. Oh. The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible for me to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCullough's face. The realization that we might lose this sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Ah, shit. Why didn't you just show her the letter instead of telling her the place is cursed? Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving for behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler. Her eyes soften, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
Okay, good. She's not mad. But still, why would you blur out that this place is cursed? That you could have at least just showed her the letter.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before.
Oh.
If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
Right?
And look.
She hesitates completely. She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands. A small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gets it back but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me, regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, you have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stopped.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
Oh, damn.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
To some extent. Oh, damn.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
Damn.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happen. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this place for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that Minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. With nothing else left to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating this room. One group of elderlies gather some ways across from me and is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here and casual laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I told him, but he did ask me to call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever listen to the latter personal convictions at all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, is that, well, whatever ways work, a free ride is a free ride. There's Rose offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers, asking for a decent signal later. The call finally connects and
shit! Bob Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me.
What?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, Bob Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, Bob Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly.
Of all the times to...
Ash from Deluxe City.
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret. What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out of his grip. Oh damn. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor, but it's not every day where you catch someone. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink, a cough. He makes a face, and then, in a quick two-motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget with a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I find that adorable, endearing even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, Scaredy Cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed a canary. Suddenly, he's checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches. Seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash.
I could be looking to buy a house.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm like he has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it.
She does have a point.
And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he paused and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping that he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without asking me for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of being real. At worst, he's insufferable and he'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. Asshole. What did I ever do to him? He never does this to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill what I saw. No, over my dead body. But before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Well, let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the mansion door opens. None of us, not even the autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from a stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete is an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Nope! I don't look back. We spent the ride back to Luxborn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things that he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained onto the passing scenery outside, in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk from the form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip on the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue my stomach rumbles loudly and an empty gnawing feeling I get in my belly becomes unnoticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she is on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feelings new to me though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. Thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
That is true. He's not entirely wrong. Oh man. I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh. That kind of screams, I'm right. I told you so. I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property.
Sorry
So
about that.
even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
You never know. Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Ma'am Hannah, in particular, didn't look too pleased with what I did. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close is it to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heartbeat as a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. Change the subject.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours. That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. I mean, yeah. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it, or because he's very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, but only momentarily, shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, causing a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That hurts him, a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger, stupid ass.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before?
Mm-hmm. What kind of case?
We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work on the occasional small investigation and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he could mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version. Only things he can tell, he has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spends his answer to my question, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it too much. That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they keep slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining regardless. If things were the same as they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking the same job as him. Well, no, not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea is still there, along with countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner. Before I know it, we were already in the movie house, at the movie house. Alright, so I'm going to cook some dinner and I will be right back.